When I tell you, like, I called Fox News that day and I screamed at someone so far up the food chain from me that I think I achieved orbit. I'm Tommy Vietor.
I'm Brian Tyler Cohen.
And today we're going to be drafting the dumbest Fox News scandals. This might take a while.
It's going to take a long time.
There's a lot of options here. Today we're gonna draft some of the best, worst Fox News scandals. And I think these are kind of fun and funny at times. They're also horribly enraging, but I think they tell a bigger story about what Fox News is, what they do, how they generate scandals out of nothing, and how it catches up Democrats from presidents to members of Congress.
This time, how about you call it in the air?
Heads I win, tails you lose?
Exactly.
All right. Tails never fails. Heads. God damn it.
All right, here we go. Tommy, on behalf of the blue team, when it comes to the dumbest Fox scandals, my first draft choice is going to be 3D printed steaks.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, let's start off the right way. I think we have a clip.
It's a lie meant to help the planet. It's like how they lie about other failed promises, solar power, windmills, socialism, things that we are told would work but can only exist as long as they leech off actual good stuff. I have a better idea. Instead of 3D printing a steak, 3D print a cow and then kill it and make steaks from it. I'm really wasting my talents here.
Here's why this is so funny to me, this whole outrage over fake meats. It is just an extra option for those who want it. And yet those meat lovers out there who've lost nothing in all of this are so offended at the prospect of other people being convenienced that they immediately threaten boycotts and make national news on Fox and, all because someone else can enjoy a dinner that they may want to enjoy.
Yeah, you don't have to eat it. Also, can we talk about Gutfeld's outfit for 1 second? He's got like a blue on blue with the blue backdrop. It doesn't work.
Gutfeld's sensibilities for fashion and comedy, I think, are beyond reproach at this point.
Yeah,
so.
well, the ratings are doing pretty goddamn good. Yeah. It's a little embarrassing for everybody. Okay, so I'm up here. Okay, I am going to do Obama Madrassa. I'd love to show you a quick clip.
Now the news that he was raised a Muslim, Barack Obama, raised as a Muslim. This is huge.
This story was aired. It is not true. CNN later went to the school to fact check this nonsensical story and found that teachers were wearing Western clothes. There were Christians, there were Buddhists, there were Muslims. It was just like it was a normal school full of normal kids, but they called it a madrassa because the Muslims happened to attend. But the subtext here was the original OG birther narrative, that Barack Obama was born in Kenya, that he was not a Christian, that he was lying about his identity, and that he was secretly a Muslim. And when I tell you, like, I called Fox News that day and I screamed at someone so far up the food chain from me that I think I achieved orbit. I had an out-of-body experience, just losing my fucking mind because it was so patently racist and Islamophobic and wrong and evil, but it really just kind of set the course for the Obama Fox News relationship.
They're like, I see your complaints about racism and I raise you. This is going to be our main issue for the next several years.
This is our thing now. Yeah, it was the worst.
Okay, so for my second choice, I'm going to go with Little Mermaid casting. Show the clip.
Pearl Bailey and Cab Calloway did an all-black version of Hello, Dolly. There were not riots in Broadway. It didn't matter. People can interchange. That's fine. My problem is they tried to whip up racial hatred, I guess to draw attention to this project.
What accent is that guy working with?
Transatlantic?
What was that?
I was late to this one, but we're forgetting to factor in one small piece while debating the biological makeup of a mermaid.
Right.
And that is that we're talking about a mermaid.
There are no mermaids.
Yeah. So the thing about a mermaid's skin color is that there are no rules, what with it being a mermaid. But, there's nothing that you can't turn into a racial...
Culture war.
Culture war, yeah.
I gotta be honest, I kind of missed that one too. That's wild. Okay. Good choice. I think I'm going to go with kitty litter in schools. Let's watch that clip.
What was actually happening at this school district that made you have to dress up as a cat to prove your point?
Well, first of all, Jesse, I'd like you to not misspecies me. I'd like to be addressed as a cat for the entirety of this video, of course.
Of course.
So
I apologize.
This was the point that I was trying to make as a cat was that, obviously, you can't just identify as whatever you want, and you can't demand that other people identify you as whatever you want.
Oh, boy. So, okay, this segment is playing off the broader hysteria about transgender people in schools, transgender bathrooms, basically how kids identify. And in this case, what they're doing is making up a story out of nothing. This literally never happened. There's no evidence this happened anywhere where they said that a school put kitty litter in the bathrooms in case kids identified as furries. Again, this never happened. It's completely made up. Thank you, Jesse Waters, for bringing us the best news.
All right, let's go on to the next one, and that is woke M&Ms. Let's play the clip on this one.
Woke M&Ms have returned. The green M&M got her boots back, but apparently is now a lesbian, maybe. And there's also a plus-sized, obese purple M&M. So we're going to cover that, of course.
I want to read another quote by Tucker Carlson
Please.
that I think works well with this whole controversy. It's important. Tucker said, quote, "M&Ms will not be satisfied until every last cartoon character is deeply unappealing and totally androgynous until the moment you wouldn't want to have a drink with any one of them." Here's the thing. I'm with Tucker here, man. I need to be attracted to M&Ms if I am going to...
I need to fuck my M&Ms.
Buy one a drink, hopefully bring it back to my place.
Yeah.
So I can't do that if they're not hot.
He also got really mad at the purple M&M for being curvy, I guess forgetting that there exists something called a peanut M&M. Okay, enough of that light banter. I want to go terrorist fist jab.
Okay.
This is a throwback.
A fist bump, a pound, a terrorist fist jab. The gesture everyone seems to interpret differently. Michelle and Barack Obama, fist bump or fist pound. People call it all sorts of things. But what happened to the old pat on the back? A handshake, a hug, today's body language, and what we can glean from it.
The reason I didn't rank this one a little bit higher is because this Fox News host, Ed Hill, lost her show. So there was some accountability. Someone at Fox News was like, man, this went a little bit too far. Like accusing the new president and the new first lady of being terrorists.
Yeah.
Because they touched fists instead of the classic pat on the back that you give your wife, the affectionate, loving pat on the back. By the way, this wasn't long after the New Yorker had put the Obamas on the cover in this sort of like cartoonish setting where they both looked like sort of radicals with guns, et cetera. So this was like a very common trope to make the two of them seem scary, seem other, and it was nakedly racist. And at least in this incident, there was some accountability. But again, it continued as we discussed.
Didn't get much better after that.
Didn't get much better.
Okay, for my next one, I'm going to choose Obama's Dijon burger. Roll the clip on that one.
All right, I'm going to have just your basic cheddar cheeseburger, medium well. I just want mustard, no ketchup. If you got like a spicy mustard or something like that, or a Dijon mustard, something like that.
All right, Dijon mustard. And I hope you enjoyed that fancy burger, Mr. President.
Fancy burger. This is like the genesis of like right-wing faux outrage and projection, because the goal was to frame Obama as this out-of-touch elite. And this was in 2009. And the very next candidate who ran for president as a Republican was Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney of Bain Capital. And then the one after that was Donald Trump, a billionaire.
I do want to say two things in defense of Mr. Hannity. One, he's right. Barack Obama's eating habits are weird. He once yelled at me for putting ketchup on some sort of entree, and I've never forgotten it. And I don't think ketchup's weird. I think ketchup's delicious. You know why? Because it's mostly sugar, and it tastes really good. So point to Hannity. Also, President Poupon, that's pretty funny.
That is good. Although I would push back. I've never eaten ketchup in my life, and if it touched any of my food, I wouldn't eat it.
What?
Yeah, I'll stay far
Even
away.
French fries?
Yeah, never.
Holy shit.
I eat French fries dry.
Do you not even do like what do the Brits do? Like
should we break off into a liberal tiers condiments?
Yeah. This country mindlessly genders food in its culture. You know what I mean? Like red wine is masculine, white wine is seen as feminine, steaks are manly, sushi's like it's just food, guys. You're gonna chew it up, you're gonna digest it, and you're gonna shit it out.
Yep.
That's what's gonna happen.
That's it.
This one's on my mind. So I want to do a little hot Balloonghazi action. Roll the next clip, please.
And this is where the president failed, because in every single kitchen table, I will promise you last week, they were talking about this. This is the atrocity that's happening here to America, and if we don't speak stronger, China will continue to do that.
In Fox's defense, they were not the only ones that relentlessly hyped up this balloon story. They were the worst, They had people suggesting the balloon had taken off from Wuhan, that it was sprinkling a new virus all over it, that there was solar-based spy gear getting dispersed in sort of smaller quantities throughout the country. It was ludicrous and nonsense. But the reason I actually genuinely worry about this kind of coverage is in Washington right now, the only thing that unites Democrats and Republicans is fear-mongering about China. And this is all happening as they're rising, they're becoming a bigger economy and a bigger military. And like, there's a real risk of something going south, some sort of conflict, some direct threat. And when our media and our politics is just like constantly pushing leaders towards more confrontation at all times, even like when it's just silly, like the stupid balloon flew across the country, Joe Biden had an F-22 smoke the thing and shoot it out of the sky. Like, as far as I can tell, we all survived. And since that time, the Biden administration has collected everything they know about this new sort of technology or means that China's using to spy. Now everybody knows, like, the jig is up. China can't spy on other places unnoticed anymore.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, I think this ended very badly for the Chinese government. Their cover was blown. And for us to just act like it somehow showed American weakness, it's just so annoying. Shut up.
And that's, I would argue, what shows more American weakness, is that we can't get through anything, even a win, even an objective win in gathering more information and sharing it with other countries in the world to make the world a safer place. We can't even take that W because, you know, we've got the Hannitys and Ingrams and Tucker Carlsons out there screaming that, you know, waking up and taking a breath in the morning is already a bad thing for Democrats. Okay, so this is my last draft choice here. I'm going with Xbox going green.
Good one.
Let's play the clip on this one.
So the Xbox itself is programmed to be green aware, not to really be green. So it's kind of like Al Gore. It is aware of the environment, but it's not really doing anything about it.
First of all, have you ever seen the cartoon Tintin? It's very old. That man is him. Yeah, I mean, what I think also happened with the Xbox is like the equivalent of like a screensaver came on.
Yeah, it's just some power saving mode. That's it. And
so saving you money, presumably.
It's a win-win. It will in some way like reduce some fractional degree of carbon output, and it also will save you money. And so like there's nothing bad about this. But because everything is a new frontier for culture wars, like even just the act of not needlessly releasing emissions is now something worth fighting over.
We need like a non-woke PS7.
Just we wanted to chew up as much emissions as it can, and also emit, like, there's a gas stove right on top of it, and it's just cooking the entire day.
Yeah, it mines Bitcoin while you play. Bad.
And it just won't stop until everybody has asthma.
That's good. All right, well, with my final pick, we are going to cancel Dr. Seuss, and it's about time.
I do not like the treatment of Dr. Seuss. I don't like it in a house with a mouse. I don't like it with a box with a fox. I don't like it here or there. Bill Hemmer, I don't like this anywhere.
So my understanding of this controversy is that once a year, presidents put out a presidential proclamation, sort of like a long press release, for Read Across America Day. And Joe Biden, I guess, omitted Dr. Seuss from his. And so everyone decided he was canceled.
I believe that a publisher stopped publishing a few titles because there was racist imagery within those books. You know, these books are from a long time ago.
Sure.
And not being as racist as our grandparents' generation is like not out of control wokeism. It's just maybe, an acknowledgement that being overtly racist is bad. And so by defending these books, you're just saying, no, keep them. We want the racism.
Right. Okay, our draft is over. We learned that Brian hates ketchup, and we learned that Fox News is terrible. Now, the viewers, the commenters, the voters, they're ultimately going to decide who is the best, worst list. But we wanted to take 45 seconds each at the end to make our best case. It's our closing argument, if you will. So, Brian, you won the toss. You're up first.
Let's do it. Here's why I think these are the dumbest Fox News scandals there are. A lot of mine rely on food. I mean, we're talking about steak. It's an alternate option for people. Nobody that eats steak has to give up their steak. It's just something else for somebody else. That's it. The same thing with Obama's choice to have mustard that isn't sufficiently patriotic for these Fox News assholes. Fuck them. You should be able to eat whatever mustard you want. This is especially dumb. We're talking about power saver mode for Xboxes. I mean, the most banal non-issue there is. complaining that mermaids who are not real people are the wrong color. Again, they're not real people. It doesn't matter. It's all a cartoon. But especially we have the woke M&M scandal, and I think that's especially insidious by Fox News, because we are talking here about Tucker Carlson complaining that he can't fuck a hot enough piece of candy. And at the end of the day, it doesn't get much dumber than that.
Well, hard to argue with that last part. Okay, here's why I think I have the best worst list. First of all, you got the Obama Madrassa and terrorist fist jab. These are just like OG, horribly stupid, unbelievably racist Fox News, fear-mongering, conspiracy-mongering, Islamophobia, but it showed the power of the narratives they can create. Those things lasted for years. We were dealing with this crap forever, the birther nonsense. Then you have kitty litter in schools and canceling Dr. Seuss, which just shows Fox's ability to make stories out of nothing and then react to the reaction to their stories they made out of nothing, and then to bring on, I don't know, I guess grown adults in Halloween costumes to comment on them. And then finally you have Balloonghazi, which, look, Chinese spy balloon, it's worth covering. It was an important moment. It was something worth trying to understand. But they led the charge on the hysterics and the anti-China fervor that could one day push us into a military conflict with the Chinese government. And I think that's a very, very bad thing. So Fox, you suck. Cut it out. Vote for my list. All right, that was a lot of fun. I mean, the problem, Ryan, we had a lot to choose from, and we left out a big one. The honorable mention.
One of the OG ones.
Which is?
Obama's tan suit.
Yeah.
I love how the line for Republicans for disrespecting the office of the presidency is not inciting an insurrection of the Capitol. It's not child separation. It's not paying a porn star a hush money payout, committing campaign finance violation, not siding with Putin over our own intelligence agencies. It's the color of your shirt.
Yeah, it's the audacity of taupe. I stole that joke, but it still works.
I guess we're at the point now where you guys have to let us know in the comments whose list of scandals is dumber. We both made our case to you, so this is the point at which you speak and let us know what you think.
And if you find Brian's attacks on ketchup to be disgraceful and cruel and just mean-spirited, please let him know. Sound off, if you will.
This is gonna be bad.
And share with your friends. We love ranking things. We love liberal tiers, pun intended, and we want to keep making them.
Yeah, so let us know what you think about this episode and also some ideas for the next one. And I know that you guys have quite the conflicts going now because Tommy's trying to dethrone Pfeiffer as the crooked YouTube star. But I'll channel Dan Pfeiffer right now and just say, smash that subscribe button.
Smash that subscribe button. Listen, we're all eating BTC's dust when it comes to YouTube. So subscribe to his page, listen to his podcast, do it all. But yeah, I mean, listen, just help me catch up to Dan.